First up, she is a beacon for freedom of expression. His latest book is Heretic, Why Islam Needs a Reformation Now, my friend and one of my heroes, Ayaan Hirsi Ali. There you are. How are you?
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. I always say to guests when they're here, I'm glad to see you, but it's especially with you, I'm glad to see you, because I know a lot of people don't want you to live.
Thank you.
So,
thank you, and I'm glad to see you.
Yes, absolutely. You know, for people who are not familiar with your story, you were born in Somalia, right? Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and what it's like for a woman to grow up in Somalia.
Well, let me tell you the Disney version, which is I was born...
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah. I was born in Somalia to a Muslim household, and at the age of 5 years, I was subjected to genital mutilation like about 130 million women are. And fast forward, my father arranges a marriage or forces me to marry, and then fast forward, I'm able to escape that by taking a train from Germany to the Netherlands and asking for asylum. And fast forward, I learn the language and I assimilate, and I run for office, and I become a Dutch member of parliament. And at some point, 3 years into my tenure, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Now, why can't everyone do this?
I told you this was the Disney version.
Right.
But 3 years into my tenure, one of my colleagues decides that I had not told the truth, which is absolutely true, but everybody knew about it in 2002, and she takes away my citizenship. I'm also, at that point, under so much security, and I decide to come to the United States of America, and I live happily ever after.
Well, that's the Disney part, right. You're a critic of Islam, and for that, so many... Well, your book's called Heretic, so, you know, I don't think I'm talking out of school here. And the other one was called Infidel, so, you know, I think you're doing it to yourself. And we're glad you are. But why is it that so many liberals, I mean, liberals who absolutely hate blaming the victim, when it, as they should, as we all should, when it comes to rape cases and stuff, how dare you blame the victim? So many blame you. They turn the finger on you. You're the bad guy. How is that happening?
I think some of them are scared. I think some of them are protective of the people who present to them as I am the victim. You know, so many of the so-called spokespeople for Muslims emphasize the victimhood of all Muslims, people they don't really speak for, and they say, look at her, she's the awful one, she's the one who's asking questions, she's the heretic, she's the infidel. And I don't know why it works with liberals.
Yeah, I mean, when I see a woman in the head-to-toe burqa, what I call it the beekeeper suit, I see someone who is oppressed, because I don't think anyone really wants to live that way, especially in the hot sun. But I've heard many liberals say, well, that's their custom, that's their culture, that they want it like that, they like it. And I say, they like it? That's what pimps say.
Yeah.
That's what pimps say. It is.
Yeah.
They like it.
Yeah. And you know...
They blow guys in an alley and give me the money. They like it.
As you know...
All right, too far.
No. I don't know how too far that is, because even in every industry, in the industry of Islamic extremism, there are women who like to cover themselves from head to toe and who like to kowtow to this ideology of extremism.
But isn't that brainwashing? Would they really?
Well, if they like it, they like it. My point is there are millions who don't like it. Please don't impose it on them. Those are the women I'm talking about.
Right, okay. And now, in your book, of course, you say what I think lots of people have said, Islam needs a reformation. But you propose a specific plan for this reformation. Can you give us the thumbnail version?
Okay, number one, I think it's extremely important for Muslims to change their attitude toward the Quran and Muhammad. Toward the book, it's not a driver's manual, please. Toward the man, give me a break. He can't be the most perfect moral guide for all humanity at all times. Give that or part of that up. Number two, stop investing in life after death instead of life before death.
Right.
Thank you. Number three, give up Sharia. Do you know what Sharia law is? Give it up.
No, tell us. We hear that word a lot, and there are people in this country, especially now in Texas, who think who think they're in imminent danger of Sharia law taking over. Alan West in Florida tweeted the other day, he was in a Walmart, and he was trying to buy liquor, and they wouldn't let him because it turned out the sales guy was underage, so he couldn't sell it to him, and he said, Sharia law has come to Walmart. They're crazy. But what is involved in Sharia law?
Well, Sharia law is the system of law that Saudi Arabia has, that Iran has, that the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria is trying to implement. Sharia law basically decides absolutely everything about yourself. It decides how women and men should interact with one another. Adulterers are flogged or stoned. People who drink are subjected to various harsh punishments. Death. I am somebody who left the religion of Islam. The punishment under Sharia law for me would be to be killed. If you're gay, you are to be taken to the tallest building in town and thrown down. And if you're still alive, there's a mob waiting there to lynch you. We're seeing all of this carried out in many places, formally and informally. When I say formally, I mean by a government, informally by people doing it themselves. And that takes me to the fourth point, which is the commanding right and forbidding wrong, where individual citizens feel that they can tell you what is right, and if you don't, you're not behaving the right way, they can punish you. And then finally, of course, jihad, holy war, should be replaced with holy peace.
So I've had, and we know Sharia law is popular in many more countries than you even named. I mean, when I have liberals on this show, one of the big arguments is, well, you're painting with a broad brush. Of course, Saudi Arabia is backward, but what about Indonesia and Turkey and Jordan? Well, I looked up Indonesia and Turkey and Jordan, and well, here are some of the statistics here. In Sharia law, 72% of Indonesians favor it. Jordan, 71%. Stoning of adulterers, Indonesia, 48% popular. Jordan, 67%. Death for leaving Islam, Jordan, 82%. These are their bastions of freedom and democracy. How do we get liberals, and some of them are people I really used to respect, how do we get them to understand that we're the liberals in this debate?
Yes.
The people who are shining a light on oppression and demanding that it will end. How can that not be the liberal cause? What do you say to liberals?
I say to them that the cancer of Islamic extremism is an assault on liberalism, on liberal ideas,
right,
on the idea of the human being as, protect the life of the human being, the freedom of the human, the equality of human beings. That's what it is, an assault on. Islamic extremists divide the world into us and them. And the ones they deem to be them, even if they're pious Muslims, they kill them. They subjugate them. They sell them into slavery. They rape the women, and they destroy art and civilization, and we see it on a daily basis. If you are a liberal and you really, truly believe in the principles of liberalism, you've got to stand up to the challenge of the day, and that is Islamic extremism.
Thank you, Ayaan Hirsi Ali. You're my hero. You know that.